Hey guys, it's Derek from Pacific Coast Auto here, taking a look at a 2001 GDB Impreza. That's the STi bug-eye with the EJ20 2-liter engine with turbo and 4-wheel drive, and in this case some pretty cool 17-inch wheels. Now this one was bought from auction here in Japan, and it's so windy today I'm almost getting blown over, but I got the windsock on there so you probably won't be able to hear that. This one gets an extra thumbs up because this one is going to my friend in Canada. His name, Logan Noel, and usually I don't say the names of the people, but because he's famous it's probably okay to say it. He is I guess one of the drifters in Canada before drifting was popular, so that's kind of cool. And what's really cool about him is he drives a first generation legacy Colin McRae style when he drifts, and that's really cool because I love drift cars that are out of the normal. And so he knows the Subaru is better than I do by far, so I'm going to limit what I say in this video for fear of being wrong. Okay, so this one is the first generation of the after GC8 generation. It's a GDB, comes with the round headlights. It has covers on them, and I love the fog lights. It has the kind of cool multicolor look there. This one has a nice little dealer, not dealer optional, but the optional aero package on it with the more aggressive front end. I think it's good looking. And the Wed's wheels are a nice fitment in there, not too big. And it has the cool Brembo F40 calipers. I think they're called the F40 or F50. I don't know. I don't know my stuff. Don't listen to me. Okay, so engine running condition is good. Oil checks out, coolant checks out, but it is a little bit grungy around the filler cap, and so it could probably use a flush there. No peeling on the intake, so that's cool. Usually they do peel. Nice big intercooler, comes with the water spray. I feel like I've mentioned the same thing so many times. These Subarus are really popular at the moment for Canada because they're a great deal for what you get. And when Japanese cars went into the 2000s, not a lot of performance cars survived, and so the Impreza is one of your best performing early 2000s Japanese cars. Okay, so this one here has the whale tail rear spoiler, not the big picnic table version. That's a personal preference thing. I like both. I like everything. I can find something I like about every car, I guarantee you. Okay, so let's go over the auction sheet here. Okay, it's a 2001 Impreza WRX STi. Of course, it's 4-wheel drive. 2-liter boxer engine in it, 156,063 kilometers. Typically, that would be a pretty high mileage for one of these cars, but for one, Logan knows what he's doing with Subarus, and so I trust that it's going to last long and be taken care of. But secondly, the condition of this one's really good for the mileage, and so I think if you go for a higher mileage car that's in good condition, then you get a lot of value for your money. Auction rate 3.5, interior C, exterior B, 6-speed manual transmission. That's the exclusive transmission for the STi. Comes with warranty papers, owner's manual. Warranty papers show you for the first 5 years or so the maintenance that was done to the car. That's what it means by that. Some people don't understand what that is. Purchased from user, electric folding door mirrors, aftermarket 17-inch wheels, toll collection box, turbo timer, tinted windows, HID headlights, rear spoiler, fog lamps, and rear wiper. It's a traded-in vehicle, keyless entry, floor mats, aftermarket security. Here's something about the aftermarket security. Actually, let me finish this, and then I'm going to complain about it. And I usually don't complain in these videos, but this one really rubbed me the wrong way. Okay, so Defi turbo, it says turbo gauge, but basically a boost gauge. It's up there. It's cool. STi exhaust, Momo steering wheel, both of those are stock. Seat wear, steering wheel wear, underside surface rust. X1 on the windshield, so that means a crack. Let's see if we can find that. I actually didn't look ahead of time. This is me not doing my job properly. Gosh, Derek. It's a dirty windshield, but let's see if we can find that. Is that it? No. I don't know. Well, if there is one, I can't find it. I'm looking carefully. Ah, found it. Okay, so I'm going to rub off the dirt around it. There's the crack there. I'm not trying to give you the middle finger, excuse me. Well, not easy to see, but it's small. Okay, and then pretty clean, pretty clean. U1 is a dent that's so small you can barely see it. Actually, let me show you one of those because people wonder what a U1 looks like. And I know exactly where one is, right here. Have a close look. So that's a U1. And that's the worst dent that's on the car. And so, pretty good looking. Now it does have two problems that weren't mentioned on the auction sheet, and that makes me sad. Number one is the front bumper, rear spoiler, mirrors, and hood scoop. They have paint fade. Common thing on Subarus, should have been marked on the auction sheet. And the other thing is the passenger side front power window doesn't work. Now that could have broken between the auction and here. We never really know, but it's really weird for the auction not to hit a power window because they check them all. And it's a common thing to see on the auction sheet for all cars that this power window doesn't work. I read it all the time, and so I know that they're checking every single car. Okay, so with this version of the Aero package, you get kind of the cool blocks after the wheels. Kind of like a mud flap, but kind of not. One block. And I like the one on the back here too. And I particularly like the way that you can see the meat of the tire here. And it would look cool with the wheels pushed out a little bit, but this is a fitment that works really well with no rubbing or anything. And this is stock suspension on it, so it's not being lowered. So it's kind of, having the gap in here, it's rally car cool. It is. Let's look at the Brembo calipers again. Even though I already showed them, I like to show cool things. That's why you don't see my face on the videos. Okay, so faded paint on the mirrors. And on the scoop. And we have this. Fade on the windshield wipers and some marks here from where visors were removed. So my recommendation, put more visors on. I got the tail lights on, look at that. I usually don't, but I love those fog lights and I just had to see what they looked like when they were on. STi and STi. I've never seen somebody with two STi badges on the back. That's twice the STi. That badge is worth some horsepower by itself. Okay, interior isn't that different. It does have something really weird. It has a CD player from a Mitsubishi. I don't know what kind, but it's kind of like heresy, isn't it? The car's worst enemy has a CD player put into it. Okay, so complaint time. This car has a turbo timer here, as you can see. It also is a voltmeter, and it's showing your voltage right there. That's on because I opened the door, and it has an alarm. So when they were dropping off this car, the people who drop off the car, the alarm was going off, and the button to stop it wasn't working. So I pulled the wires out of the alarm. So sorry, Logan, your wires are pulled out from the alarm. But right now, the alarm would be going off too, because even if the car's running, the alarm goes off. That's really dumb. Aside from that, the turbo timer down here has been wired into the door locks, and I have never seen that before. So in case you don't know what a turbo timer is it allows the car to run for a set amount of time after you turn the key off to give the turbo time to cool itself down so that it cools down gradually instead of just super hot and then super cold, and that's bad for your turbo, right? But you don't want that to lock your doors, because if you do that, and you're like me, you turn the keys off, leave the keys in the ignition, close the door so that you can go and start taking pictures of your car, and it locks the doors with the keys in it. And so I had to call Andrew back at the office and say, dude, did this car come with a set of keys? And luckily it did, and so it has a spare key, and so we could open it without paying somebody $150 to open up the car, because everything in Japan costs more than it should. And just overall really annoying that anybody would want a system and intentionally wire it in a way that it does that. Usually the turbo timer, like, it just shuts off the engine and it doesn't lock it, and you manually lock it yourself like a good person. This one and this one, intercooler water spray. Turn those fog lights back off. Steering wheel, great condition for 150,000 kilometers. Gauge is set there, very normal. It does have a shift light. That's the coolest part of it. There's the Mitsubishi. Ooh, I should tape over it. Mitsubishi Motors. I'm in your car. You know what? Maybe this is controlling the turbo timer as a way to get back at the Subaru driver. And in case you don't know, I'm joking there. And when you have to explain a joke, it becomes unfunny. 6-speed manual transmission, very nice. Here's the folding mirrors. Because I know I'm going to get in trouble if I don't show them. Boosty gauge, engine running condition is good. Let's give it some vroom, despite the neighbors. Yummy. AC works. Steering feels great on these. I love the steering wheel feel, the heaviness of it, how the steering wheel is nice and large. It's good. It's better than a GC. Oh, I'm gonna get hate. Came with a free seat belt in the back. It's kind of weird. And competition gloves. I bet if you put your hands in there, there's scorpions in it. Okay. There we have it. Subaru Impreza WRX STi. Full walk around video of a car that hates me and locked me out. Not fun. but probably fun to drive. Just not fun to be me. Locked outside of this car. Okay, thanks for watching everybody, and have a nice day.